relax, and feel your feet on the ground and feel your bottom in the chair, or maybe your back's resting against the chair. Just feel yourself in the space, and do whatever you need to do to make yourself a little bit more comfortable. So wiggling around or adjusting. Maybe it's more comfortable for you to have your knees and feet wide, or maybe it's more comfortable for you to have your ankles and knees touching. It doesn't matter, but think about what would feel good in your body today and adjust yourself so you have the power to be a little more comfortable, to control your environment a little bit. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can close your eyes. And if it's not, that's fine. You can lower your gaze, make your eyes go a little fuzzy, look at one point of focus. We're just trying to shut out the outside world a little bit and bring ourselves to the interior and make ourselves a little more um, focused on what's happening inside. And a lot of times there's so much chatter going on in our brains, which is fine. That's what our brains do. It's not wrong. But for this small amount of time, we'll just ask the chatter to move on. That when the thoughts come, we'll say, I'm going to deal with you later. That when the to-do list or the worries or that thing that that person said pops into our brain, you can say, thank you. I will think about you in a little bit, and let it dissipate. And usually when we acknowledge our thoughts, they're easier to carry on and disappear. It's when we really push against the thoughts and we say, I'm going to clear my mind, I'm not going to think about anything, and we get really rigid about it, more and more and more thoughts come. So we want to be really gentle with ourselves and gentle with our minds and gentle with our bodies, and supportive in our practice. So a lot of times the breath is the place to start as an object of focus. So we're going to start with 3 really big breaths, the biggest breaths of the day. So if it's comfortable, you can put your hands on your belly, or you can just feel the belly expanding as you inhale, and keep inhaling and inhaling as much as you possibly can. And when you reach the fullest capacity of your lungs, slowly exhale. And this could be through your nose or through your mouth. A nice, long, slow, cleansing exhale, getting out all the air from the lungs. And then again, inhaling as full and deep, a big inhale, filling the lungs as full as possible, all the way to the top. And when your lungs are super full, slowly, slowly, through the nose or through the mouth, exhaling all the air out, using the belly, using the diaphragm to help push the air out. And one more just like that.
Yeah, I'm just sharing this at the moment. So this is what we started last week in terms of how to rotate. It can be quite a sophisticated if you want it to be. I don't know if it will necessarily do what you just suggested.
And then take your time, but when you get to the end of that exhale, let your breathing return to normal, whatever feels good in your body. And this is a great time to set an intention. So thinking about the type of characteristics you want to embody, the type of person you want to be, the type of things you want to attract. What's one intention that you could set for this practice? Bring it to mind. And really visualize, what does that look like? If you could live that intention, what does that look like today? And if you could live that intention every day this week, what does this look like next week? How will you feel? What will you be doing? And if you can live this intention for a whole month, what will that look like? What would change? Even if it's a small changes are really powerful. Small changes are manageable. Small changes ramp up over time and lead to really significant improvements. What will that small change do for you over the course of a month?
Yeah, exactly. And that's difficult enough even though I talk to people. I'm moving my doctors to go within those.
And then looking forward to next year. What if you could keep this intention, keep attracting what you want to attract? What if you could keep making these very small incremental changes for a whole year? What will that feel like? What will that look like day to day? How will that change the way you're thinking, the way you're feeling, the way you're acting? And then I invite you to come back to your breath. In and out, through the nose where you can. Through the mouth is fine if that's more comfortable. We're going to practice some alternate nostril breathing. And you might be familiar with this using the hands, the fingers to close off the nostril, but we're going to manifest this with visualization and see if we can feel the air in and out through the nostrils, even without using the hands. So, as we inhale, imagine the air coming in through your right nostril. And as you exhale, imagine the air coming out the left nostril. And then we'll switch. Inhaling, imagining the air in through the left nostril, and exhaling out through the right nostril. Into the right, and out the left. In the left, and out the right. In the right, and out the left. In the left, and out the right. Carry on like this for another minute. I'll keep the time. Take your time. But when you get to the end of the next round of breath, allow your breathing to return to normal, following the air in the nose, down the throat to the belly, and from the belly up, out. Maybe you feel the air on your upper lip. Maybe you feel your chest or your belly rise and fall. And as we watch the breath, we'll just do a little bit of stretching of the neck, slowly bringing the head down to the chest. And then inhaling to tip the chin up towards the ceiling. And then exhaling the chin back to the chest. Inhaling, tipping the chin up towards the ceiling. Carry on with your pace. You might be faster or slower than me. We'll do a few more rounds like this. Feeling the stretch in the top of the shoulders, back of the neck, when the chin's to the chest. And feeling the stretch in the throat with the teeth lightly touching when the chin's up towards the ceiling. And then at the end of your next exhale, we'll come back to center and we'll switch directions. Same thing, nice and slow. Inhaling, bringing the right ear to the right shoulder. Exhaling through center. Inhaling the left ear to the left shoulder. And exhaling through center. Again, taking your time. Your breathing pattern might be faster or slower than mine. That's fine. It's not about how quickly you move. One breath, one movement. We're just keeping track of the breathing and just bringing some really gentle movements in with the breath. Feeling the stretch on one side of the neck and then the other side. This is a dynamic stretch where we're just holding it for a few seconds and then switching to the other side. So static stretching is when we hold a stretch for a long time, 20, 30, 40 seconds. And then dynamic stretching is when we repeatedly do a stretch, but only for a few seconds at a time. We'll do a few more of these, and then we'll switch again. Inhaling, bringing the ear towards the shoulder. Exhaling back towards center. Inhaling the ear towards the shoulder. And exhaling back towards center. And then we'll turn the head left and right. So looking over the right shoulder on the inhale. Exhaling back to center. Inhaling to turn the head over the left shoulder. And exhaling back to center. If this is comfortable to do with your eyes closed, that's great. If it's easier or better for you to do it with your eyes open, that's fine. Find a drishti or a focal point, somewhere where you can come back to and look at every time you move through center, every time you've turned to the right side, pick something, and every time you've turned to the left side, pick something. Stay with the breath. And we'll do one more round like this. And when you've finished your last exhale, come back to a neutral position. Reassess your body. If there's something that you need to do to get rid of some tension, a movement you'd like to make, or an adjustment to the way you're sitting, go ahead and do that. Find yourself even 1% more comfortable breathing into any areas of tension or constriction or pain. Sometimes that just acknowledging it, being gentle, just like the thoughts that flow through our brain, acknowledging those sensations that we might not like as much, sometimes can let them dissipate even just a tiny bit. And then we'll come back to our alternate nostril breathing. And this time we are going to use the fingers. So we're going to use, typically this is done with the thumb and the ring finger. So you can try it that way, or you can try it a different way if it feels better for you. So we'll inhale through the right, and then close the right nostril with the thumb, and then exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Switch, closing the left nostril with the right ring finger, opening the right side, exhaling on the right, and then inhaling on the right, using the thumb to close the right nostril, exhaling on the left. And obviously this will be flip-flopped if you're using your left hand instead. Inhaling through the left, close the left, open the right, exhale through the right. Inhaling on the right, close the right, exhaling on the left. Inhaling on the left, close the left, exhaling on the right. And we'll carry on like this. We'll do it for another minute and I'll keep the time. Take your time. The next time you exhale out the left side, you can release the hands, let go of the breathing pattern. Do a little check-in with yourself. How's my breathing feeling? Do I feel the breath in the chest, in the ribs, in the belly? Am I still comfortable? Do I need to move around at all? Was I able to focus on the breathing? Am I stuffed up? That's fine. Blow your nose, do whatever you need to do. How does your head feel? And then we'll come back to that intention that we set in the beginning of our time together. Let that intention wash over you. What does it mean? What does that intention look like? What does it feel like in your body? What does it feel like in your mind, in your actions, in your interactions with others? And what's one small, tiny little thing you can do today to manifest this intention? Remember, the tiny little choices we make, they accumulate over time and they lead to big change. That's really the only way big change happens. We like to think that we can change overnight or that we can adopt some new way of being, but more often it's the very little things that we do every day, the smallest interactions, the tiny ways we set ourselves up for whatever it is we want to be, that's more successful. If you've lost the breath, come back to the breath. Into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest, and a long, slow exhale. Into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest, and a long, slow exhale. Belly, ribs, chest, and a long, slow exhale. Carrying on with that 3-part breath, and I'll keep the time. At the end of your next round of breathing, take your time, there's no rush. Let your breathing return to normal. And we'll end just with a little check-in, small body scan, starting with the toes, bottom of the feet, the heels, the ankles, the shins, the calves, both knees, the hamstrings on the back of your legs and the quadriceps on the front, your hips, your belly, low back, mid back, upper back, your ribs, your chest, your shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists, palms of your hands, backs of your hands, all of your fingers, your neck, your face, your eyes, nose, mouth, ears, your jaw, your skull, your whole head, and your whole body. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.